What's going on, everyone? It's my back again, and this is your match preview. It is Sheffield United against Everton. Oh God! I mean, it says it smells like 6 pointer, doesn't it? It literally I can smell it. 6 pointer, massive game, Bramble Lane, bouncing. Look, it worries me when we go up against Sheffield United because they just seem to have something, I mean, I think it was the season they went down. They beat us 2-0 at Goodison, a game that was pathetic. Me and John almost got kicked out of the Gladys Street. It's a game I'm not looking forward to. It's a game that I think Everton need to get something. They can't keep being. It can't keep being this negative. To be frank, it can't keep being this poor. We've had 3 poor Premier League games. Let's be straight. We've had 1 poor Carabao Cup game, and one half of that was probably the worst Everton performance I've seen in a long time. And let's be real, we've seen some bad ones recently. Recently over the last 2 or 3 years, we've seen some horrendous ones. But that against Doncaster in the first half was a joke. It was a joke. It was shocking. So I think Everton need to go into this game against Sheffield United, and they need to put their authority on the game quick. They need to get players like Onana on the ball in the middle of the parking and try and get him to dominate. People keep telling me that Onana's not dominating games and not showing how good he is and his physicality. I think it's very harsh to criticise someone as young as he is with literally the expectation he's got. I think it's very, very, very harsh. I have this conversation with John all the time because John doesn't rate him. Whereas I rate him. I just think he needs help around him. I think like this Everton system doesn't completely suit him. And I could understand why he'd move on into a different system and almost look like an absolute world beater. I do worry about that. I do worry that he doesn't put his foot on the ball and dictate play, but I do think he's getting better. He was the only player in the first half for Everton that had a bit of aggression, he was levels above Doncaster. Even in the first half, he was the best player on the pitch, in my opinion. Him and Molineux for Doncaster, but he has got everything. He's got passes in his locker. He needs to chip in with more goals. I get that, but how much of that is Dyche telling him to sit back, or how much of that is Dyche saying look for that pass rather than getting a shot off? I don't know. I'm surmising, but I would like to see Onana get into the game a lot more here. I think Sheffield United in the middle of the park are there for the taking. I think defensively we should be fine. I mean, it sounds awful, but because we weren't against Doncaster, but I really do feel like we should be fine. We should be able to cope with whatever Sheffield United throw at us. We probably won't, but I think we should do. I think Beto starts for me. I think it's abundantly obvious he starts. He come on against Doncaster, and I know again, these guys are what? How many teams below us? Is it 61 or whatever it is? But they couldn't cope with him. Beto was energetic. He's enthusiastic. The amount of times where the camera panned to him and he's smiling, and he might lose the ball or a dodgy touch and he just gets himself. He's like, he reminds me so much of Ferguson. It's ridiculous. I remember I watched Ferguson in his later years of his career. And I remember him, scoring the goal against Manchester United, for example, the one that got us into the Champions League. I think, what was it, April 10th? Was it April 10th, 2005? Something like that. I seem to remember, it was towards the end of April, actually. It was towards the end of April. It was around my birthday, April the 28th. It was somewhere around there. And anyway, I remember him scoring that goal. His collar's up, he's he's running down the line. I remember, look, I remember the aggression, the raw, the very rare smile, but the passion. And I saw that in Better. I literally saw that in Better. I've got friends who are Liverpool friends, obviously, and they watched his conference after the game, his little presser where he was talking about it, and he spoke so well that he comes across as a likable character. And I think he's a gentle giant, but he is a giant, and he is a physical giant. I don't think he does anything to deliberately hurt anyone, but he's strong, he's capable, he'll definitely win headers in the box, he can hold up the ball, but he's rapid. I mean, he's not just a player, he's a player that you can kick the ball into and he will knock it on and run. He isn't just a, take the ball down on the chest and wait for others to get involved. No, he's got a bit of everything, and that is a really massive addition. It probably stops us being that blunt spoon that we've been, and turns us into a plastic knife, because when he gets injured we then go blunt again. But I'm much more positive having a striker in. As I've recording this, and I've recorded this just after I've recorded my transfer video that I was speaking about players coming in. None of the people we sign today will be available for Saturday. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So they're going to have a good 2-week period of getting set. It was really positive to hear that Dwight McNeil's back in training, because I do think he adds a lot to the team. Iwobi potentially won't be there. Obviously, he's got his hamstring injury anyway. But there is players at Everton there that this could be. It could be a very different looking Everton side. It could be an Everton team that we're not used to seeing. In terms of picking a team, look, Pickford for me stays in goal, obviously. Ashley Young goes in at left back. Mikalenko can't start this game. I mean, he was awful against Doncaster, so he can't start this game. Branthwaite and Tarkowski. Tarkowski absolutely needs to up his game. He's not getting enough. Not enough is being said about how poor he's been. Some people have blamed Pickford for the goal that we conceded at home to Wolves. Some people have blamed Ashley Young for not getting across. I still can't get over, irrespective of if you blame those two, it's fine. I still can't get over that Tarkowski's man stands in front of him for ages, and he just lets him run past him. He does nothing, and I just couldn't believe that an experienced Premier League centre half does that. It shocked me. So that is definitely something that he needs to be wary of in this game, because of the physicality of Sheffield United, certainly from corners and set pieces. But he comes into the team, obviously. Patterson, you play, you have to play. Ladrissa Ganagai, he was the only one that came on against Doncaster and had that composure. Anana had fought and had battled and had found the passes and had tried to find the passes, but he didn't have that stop the ball, chill out for a second and assess the situation, whereas Garner does. Garner does start for me. Anana also starts. And then the other Garner starts, which means I'm dropping Amadou. I'm dropping Decore. Left hand side I go Danjuma. Up front I go Better. And on the right hand side I'd still probably stick with Dobbin. Sheffield United was a team that, albeit they were in a different league to Derby last season, Dobbin could have played Championship football. He should be fine. People were very quick to criticise him against Doncaster. Again, I didn't agree with that at all. He can come into this team, add a little bit of legs. He needs a pick-me-up, so I have no issue if Dobbin starts this game. the one that has to start is better. He has to start. And if he wants to play 4-4-2, I have no issue with that either. And if you're going to play 4-4-2, then I probably would stick Madley, because I'll criticise him for this, but I probably would stick James Garner on the right hand side of midfield until we have a right winger in that sense. And probably still keep Danjuma on the left. But then, if Calvert-Lewin's available, I'd start Calvert-Lewin and better. Start them both. We need to score goals. You might as well have your two best goal scorers on the pitch. It's that simple. And then the middle two would be Onana and Garner still. I don't think Everton lose anything by going 4-4-2 against Sheffield United. I really don't. I'd be very, very positive to do that. And I think we should. I think we should hunt them down. I think we should go and take the game to Sheffield United. I think we should go and prove that this Everton team is capable of scoring goals and cutting through the channel. Danjuma will cut onto his right foot. Either look for the header better or shoot. We want the same from Lewis Dobbin. Lewis Dobbin's a striker by trade. Go and prove it. Cut in onto the left-hand side. If you want to cut in on the right-hand side, whatever. Just get your shots off. Get your balls into the box. Supply Beto, supply Calvert-Lewin, supply whoever. We need to see more of that. Follow up from corners. Is Onana on the 18-yard box waiting for that second ball, or waiting for that first-time hit, or waiting for that short corner? These are all little things that we just don't do, and we have to do more of if we're going to score more goals. The unfortunate thing is, for the last 3 seasons, we've been set up not really to concede. And the issue you've got with that is we have been conceding. So we've been set up not to really score loads of goals because we were hoping that we'd win 1-0 or 2-1 or whatever. And defensively at times under Lampard we look good. Defensively at times under Sean Dyche we look good. Even at times under Rafa Benitez, defensively at the start we looked good. But it all goes to pot as soon as teams read us and understand what we're doing. So we have to be more offensive. And for me, it is absolutely key that the ball goes into Onana in the middle of the park and he's allowed to dictate which direction play goes, because that is his trait. We've saw it time and time again. He'll pop up on the, say, 35-yard mark and he'll look left or right. And he might spray a ball over the right back, or he'll spray a ball through the channel. We saw it loads of times against Doncaster. I saw it a few times against Wolves. It is exactly what he's looking to do, and we need to support him doing that. So build the team around him, in my opinion. People will say, look, Mike, you're raving about Onana, blah, 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 blah. I'm not. But he is a talented footballer, and you have to give him the benefit of the doubt when he's so young. Jude Bellingham, for example, didn't become as world class as he is right now without making mistakes at Dortmund, or not making mistakes at Birmingham City. It just didn't happen. So we can't be sitting there criticising and destroying players like Onana and Dobbin like we have done to others in the past. We've done it with Tom Davies, we've done it with Ross Barkley, we've even done it with players like Luke Garbutt, Ademola Lookman. All these players had at times terrible attitudes and didn't want to play for Everton. Maybe they just wanted to play football. Maybe they just wanted to prove how good they could be, and unfortunately they didn't and got frustrated. There's been loads of occasions where we've had young players, and I think we've done a really poor job of managing them. So Onana's one that I want to do a good job on, because I do like him. I like how he infuses the crowd, and if I'm being honest, he's got all the right attributes. He just needs to unlock them, and that will take time. So look, score prediction for this game, I am not confident we win, but I am going to go with 2-1 Everton. I would take a draw because I just want to get something on the board. We then have an international break, which is fine, that's good. No issues with that. Get the players in, get them integrated with the team, the squad, and get them understanding the style of football. Because one thing that was abundantly clear in that Doncaster game was Sean Dyche's tactics are not getting across to the players, because there was a game plan. I just couldn't see it, and nor could a lot of Evertonians. So it's definitely something that I think needs working on, and I'm confident he can do that. He needs to work on it. But they need to understand the way he plays. I'm not expecting fantastic football. I'm not. But I am expecting football that's going to keep Everton in the Premier League. And at this moment in time, we're 19th. If the season was to stop right now, we are a championship team. There is championship teams, in my opinion, that would very much give us a run for our money. Teams like Leicester, for example. So we absolutely need decent signings, decent performance, and getting something going into the games after the international break. Guys, look, it's been a pleasure as always. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Peace.